Welcome to the concept of time value of money. We know, as a famous saying goes, that time is money. But what is the relation between the time and money? In short, if we try to understand, money which is available to us right now or at the present time is basically of much more worth than the same amount in the future, because today's money can earn a certain amount to it with increase of time. This is where the concept of interest rate also comes in. That is why today's X amount of money will be X plus del X, where the del X change comes into account due to the concept of interest rate, where X is lesser than X plus del X. So, the core principle of finance is that the money today can earn interest, so it will worth more than if we achieve that particular money today rather than in future. In easy words, if you say 100 rupee today is much more valuable than 100 rupee 2 year after, because 100 rupee today you will be earning for that particular 2 years an interest rate which will increase the value of 100 rupee to maybe 105 rupees. This isn't just an example, it can increase. So the potential earning capacity of money is what the relation between money and time. Coming in to the monetary concept here, first we need to understand the basic concept of the money being either it is inflow or it is outflow. If we consider us or any kind of human being to be the internal aspect and the outside world to be the external aspect, then any money coming from the external aspect to the internal aspect, for internal aspect it will be treated as positive, or it is inward coming of money. Inward coming of money basically increases the value of money to the internal aspect, so that will be treated as positive. So cash inflow is always treated as positive and vice versa. That means if money goes out to the external environment from the internal environment, that means from my pocket, if I am paying something, the money reduces in my pocket. Due to that particular reason, my deposit of money in the pocket generally decreases and not increases. That's why the outflow for any internal aspect is treated as negative. Now, if we try to divide the time value of money into different kind of time periods, we can generally divide the time periods into three important portion, that is present worth, annual worth and future worth. The concept of present worth is very important because it demarks the beginning or the starting point of any transaction. This starting point of the transaction is generally treated as year zero for any individual or for any organization. year 0 to year 1. That means from the time in which the cash flow has started and then completing 1 year from that point of time. That means this this time period from 0 to 1 demarks 1 year for that particular cash transaction. So year 0 is that particular point in which any kind of transaction generally starts. The starting point of any transaction can either be of two types. That is, what one can be positive, the other one can be negative. If the transaction at the beginning of the period is positive, that means initially money is coming towards the organization. Initially money coming towards the organization generally suggests that the organization is starting off the business taking a loan or a cash borrowing from any particular person. That's why initially the money is positive, but throughout the tenure it has to be repaid. That's why the other cash flows during that period will be negative. So what do we mean by this? If the organization's initial period is positive, the other cash flows during that tenure will always be negative because loan needs to be repaid. And if the organization is starting off that particular period with a negative cash flow, that means the organization or the owners of the organization has donated money from their own pocket. That means an initial investment has been made from own pocket. That means the organization's future cash flows or the entire time period after that year 0, if the organization is earning a profit, it will be positive in nature. If the organization is opting for loss or is making loss, that will be treated as negative. The concept of annual worth is during the tenure in which the organization is wishing to consider the cash flows are occurring at every single constant different intervals of that time period. That means, suppose if we are dividing an entire time section or a time flow of the organization into 5 divisions, that is A, B, C, D and E, the difference between A and B and C and D or D and E will absolutely be constant. This time period can either be measured in days, weeks, month or even year. That means every single interval will have a same kind of value. Most importantly, if the period is having same kind of value, then the cash flows should also have a regular nature associated with them. That means the cash flow for A, for B, for C, for D and E will absolutely be equal to one another. If that is different, if even one cash flow is different from the other, that entire time period will not be treated as annual worth. It will be treated something else. What it will be treated, we will come back to that, but it will not be treated as annual worth. In annual worth, the cash flow values should always be absolutely same. Again, annual worth can be of generally two types. If the annual worth is indicating a positive cash flow, that means it is indicating a profit. But if the annual cash flow is indicating a negative cash flow, that means that is indicating a loss. As far as future worth concept goes, future worth of any cash of any organization is generally regarded to the cash flow which is occurring at the end of the period. If initially the organizations had started off with year 0, then in future worth the organization will be ending the year at year end. The major difference between an annual value and a future value is that annual values of cash flows are generally regular in nature. That means the values are the same values are keeping on repeating itself. But the major difference in future worth is that the values will be absolutely dissimilar to one another. The values, if it is of same kind throughout that particular tenure, will be treated as annual worth. But if one single value is different from one another, that different value will be treated as singularly future value for that entire period. The future value is generally treated as salvage value of any organization. This is the basic concept of future worth. The formulas that we generally require to transfer any value from one worth to another, namely present, annual and future, we require a couple of formulas. This particular formulas has two very important parameters attached to them. Those are I in small hand and N, where I denotes the interest rate per year or throughout the tenure, it can be, and N denotes the number of years or the time period. It can be years, it can be days, it can be whatever, weeks, months, whatever it can be. Most importantly, students, here one thing you need to keep into account before solving any kind of sum here is that I is always in percentage. That means if it has been said 15% per annum, that means I will be always 0.15 during calculation and not 15. Throughout my entire teaching career, I have faced these kind of papers very frequently where the entire concept is clear with the student, but they make a very kind of silly mistake in not transferring I into decimal. If that is not done, the entire sum or the entire calculation becomes wrong. Let's come back to the formulas here. The first formula is given present worth to get future worth. How to indicate this in a shorter form? If we put a slash and whichever worth has been mentioned to us, in this case present worth has been mentioned to us, present worth goes behind the slash, and the worth in which we tend to transfer it into, that is in this case future worth, comes in front of the slash. So I am repeating it once more. The worth which has been mentioned to us or given to us will go behind the slash, and the worth that we need to transfer it into comes in front of the slash. Here given present to get future, that means F/P we write f slash p, but we say present to future. Given I and n, the formula stands at 1 plus I whole to the power n. Given present, to get annual, we write a slash p, but we say present to annual is I into 1 plus I whole to the power n divided by 1 plus I whole to the power n minus 1. Not n minus 1, but whole 1 plus I whole to the power n minus 1. The next formula, future worth, given future worth, to get annual worth, we write a slash f, but we say future to annual. Given I and n is I divided by 1 plus I whole to the power n minus 1. Now, to simplify it or make it easier for the students to memorize these formulas, if any student memorizes these three formula, that is the first one, the third one and the fifth one, 2, 4, 6 are just the reverse formula of that. See, given future to get present is 1 plus I whole to the power n, which is just the reciprocate of the first formula. Similarly, given annual to get present is 1 plus I whole to the power n minus 1 divided by I into 1 plus I whole to the power n. Similarly, annual to future is 1 plus I whole to the power n minus 1 divided by I. So basically, it is very important for the students to understand which formulas to remember and how. If you are talking about remembering it in a very shorter point of time, just go through these three formulas, 1, 3 and 5. The other ones will just be the reciprocate of these formulas. These formulas helps us in the sum to change the value of that cash flow from one period of time to another period of time. So memorizing this formula are of utmost important for any student. Taking one mathematical example of time value of money, the question has been said, in a project the initial outlay is 30,000, the useful life of the project is 10 years, the net cash inflow per annum is 8 lakh, the rate of interest is given at 20% per annum, salvage value at the end of 10 years is given at 12 lakh rupees. What has been asked, is the project profitable or not? Let us come back and talk about the things or the figures that we have in our hand. Initial outlay, right? Initial outlay, the term outlay already suggests us that it is a negative figure, that it is going out from the organization's pocket into the external world. So if it is happening, that 30 lakh becomes negative at the upfront. So if we remember the rule here, if the initial year or year 0 is negative, the subsequent year generally becomes positive, generally, until and unless the organization is faced with a loss or something. Coming back to the second information available to us, here net cash inflow, here I beg my students to put focus into the terms which has been mentioned. It might not always be simple enough for you to tell into any kind of sum that the figures are positive or negative. We have to read the sum carefully and try to understand it. So net cash inflow per annum is given at 8 lakh. So if it is inflow, that is a positive figure. And just remember class, one simple trick, that salvage value is the value that the organization receives at the end of the tenure. So it's a value which the organization will receive. So definitely any salvage value will be positive in nature, because no organization is fool enough to sell off a particular asset at less than something, right? So it is not possible to sell off something less than 0. So the salvage value becomes always positive. Now coming back to the solution part, what happens? Initial outlay plus the annual cash inflow plus the salvage value. This gives us the net profit or net loss, because this is the exact calculation of income minus expenditure. Now we have to keep in mind that any sum in time value of money, we have to calculate that sum either in present worth, that means transferring all the available values into present worth, or into annual worth, that is transferring all the values into annual worth, or calculating it in future worth, that is transferring all the value into future worth. Here I have taken this example and have tried to solve this particular problem in present worth. So let's see that the values that are there with us are in which worth. If we see that initial outlay, it is the starting point of the project, that means this is practically year 0 to us, so this is present worth to us. That means 30 lakh rupees, if we are calculating it, it's a present to present transformation, so basically zero transformation. That's why 30 lakh has remained 30 lakh. The next item or the next cash flow that we have is 8 lakh. It's a continuous value and at a regular interval. That is an annual worth value to me or to us. So annual worth turned into present worth, 20%, 10 years given, and salvage value always ends that particular period. So if it is ending that particular period, that's a future worth value to me, which we needs to transfer into present worth back into. Using the formulas, we generally can solve this particular sum and get the figure of 5,47,800. Here I request my students just to consider one particular thing: do not step jump, show all the workings if possible. That means I have just added up the value of 8 lakh turned into present, 12 lakh turned into present. I have added those two values and have deducted it from the initial investment of 30 lakhs, which gives the project a profit of 5,47,800. So in short, the project is profitable. The organization should accept the project. The second example that we take is an energy efficient machine is costing an organization rupees 5,000, which has an useful life period of 5 years. If 8% interest rate is applied to that particular machine throughout the tenure, how much should be saved per year to recover the cost of capital? Basically, students, here we need to understand the sum and understand it in which thing or in which worth the sum is telling us to convert each values. If we see here, to recover the cost of capital, when do we recover the cost of capital? We generally try to recover the cost of capital after the project has set off. So basically, cost of capital is basically our rupees 5,000 or the initial investment. The lifetime is actually 5 years, and most importantly, the question is how much should be saved per year. That means a value or an amount needs to be saved each year by that organization to see whether how quickly the organization can recover the cost of capital. So if we transfer the entire value of that initial investment into annual worth, which was actually in present worth, the initial investment was actually in present worth. If we transfer the value into annual worth, taking into aspect the 8% interest rate and the 5 years of lifetime, we get the value of rupees 1252. So basically this is that particular amount of money which the organization needs to save per year to recover the cost of capital within that stipulated time period of 5 years. Coming back with one more mathematical example here. A person is buying a flat with a down payment of 8 lakh rupees, followed by 5 annual installments of 2 lakh each. What should be the annualized cost of the flat, assuming that 10% interest rate has been applicable on that entire amount per annum? If we try to solve out this particular sum, we need to actually find out what is the annual cost of that flat. But to find out the annual cost of the flat, we need to transfer the value first into the future value or the total value that needs to be paid after 5 years. If we do that, first we are transferring each value into the future value. That means the initial down payment which has been made at year 0, that is of 8 lakh rupees, that is in present worth, is being transferred into future worth. And then we are adding back the installment amount of 2 lakh each. That means 5 different time period has similar kind of value attached to it. So that is definitely an annual worth value which we transfer back into future worth. By transferring these two values into future worth, we get an approximate value of 25,09,800 rupees. So basically this is the future value of that particular flat. Here I would like to inform you with a certain kind of thing that, see, this is all total a cost, the cost of the flat. That means there is no income portion in this particular value, and that is why initial investment is also treated as negative, whereas the annual installment is also treated as negative. But since both are negative in nature, we are taking the mod values of those two costs and basically adding it up. So if in any case we need to do this, we need to clearly mention that we are basically adding it up because all the components within that equation are cost amount. Clear? Moving on, if 25,09,800 becomes the future value of the flat, the per annum value, the per annum payment that should be made for that particular value is, we need to transfer that future value back into the annual worth value, taking 10% and 5 years. The value that we next get is the annual value, which is approximately at 4,11,000. This is the annual value of the flat which has been asked in the numerical.